Khalsa Lakhvir-Singh is here to represent the Kenyan zone at the Hemkunt Symposium for the first time in 25 years. So what brought Kenya back into Hemkunt?
Well, Kenya has been no stranger to the Hemkunt Symposium. We've been active in the past, but for some reason or the other, we lost the contact with the symposium, and we're now back after 25 years after realizing that our youth need to get the exposure that they've had in the past. We've won multiple medals in the past, and we believe we have the caliber for a youth to represent Kenya at the highest level in youth competitions like these ones.
So what can you tell me about the Sikh youth in Kenya?
The Sikh youth in Kenya are a vibrant group who are active in Gurmat and social activities. We have plenty of Gurmat schools. We have 25 Gurdwaras in Kenya, 6 alone in Nairobi, and they're very, very active. Every Gurdwara has some group of youth or the other involved in building their Sikhi. So in the Gurdwaras we have fully fledged Gurmat schools that teach Gurmukhi, Gurbani, Kirtan, Gatka, everything that's associated with Sikhi. So our youth we are at a stage where it's a revival. The past 1 or 2 generations, we were losing the youth to a lot of lack of information or misinformation, but now because of the digital age, the youth are now more aware, who are searching for themselves the meaning of Sikhi and coming back into it more confident.
So not just for the youth, what is it like to live in Kenya as a Sikh?
Living in Kenya is a privilege. It's an honor. Considering the history that we have as Sikhs, we've been in the country as part of the land since 120 years now. Sikhs came with the building of the railway that the British started, who hired Sikhs, Hindus, Muslims and Goans as indentured laborers to build the railway from Mombasa to Kisumu. And that's when the Sikhs came en masse to build the railway. So we've been present in that country for that long. And after the railway was complete, most of them went back to India. Others remained back in Kenya, made Kenya their home, went into farming, business and all sorts of other areas of interest. And they have helped build Kenya's economy and become a part of it. And we even have a personality called Hemkunt Singh, who was a freedom fighter. Though he was born in India, he came to Kenya and saw that the way the British colonists were oppressing the people was no different from how they were oppressing the Indians. So he took up that cause and fought for the Africans as well. And he remains the longest detained political prisoner in Kenya's history. That's 11 years. He suffered the cause for independence. He was the first man to publicly proclaim that Kenya must be independent now and expected the British to leave the country immediately. And for that reason, because of his uncompromising ideals, he was considered to be a very dangerous person in the country. The British even tried to deport him back to India, but he had good lawyers who defended his case, and he stayed back, and eventually even won himself the citizenship of the country. So our role in Kenya has been very deeply ingrained in Kenya's history, and that has given us the privilege that we are no different from the Africans. We consider ourselves Africans of a different color and a different background. In fact, Kenya Sikhs are known as Khalsa Singhas.
So what can you tell me about that name, Khalsa Singhas?
Khalsa Singhas is a name given by the Africans who they refer to as Sikhs. It's a very unique name that the Africans have given the Sikhs. It is a name that comes from a man called Kala Singh, who came to East Africa. At that time, Kenya was not a country. Kenya came into being after 1920s. But he came to East Africa towards the end, in the middle of 1890s, as a trader, as a businessman. And he would venture into Maasai land, which was dreaded by even the British. He was a very friendly, daring, adventurous man. And he would go into those areas to trade his wares. And the Maasai were very pleased with him because he was friendly. And they happened to ask him his name. And when he said Kala Singh, they thought he was referring to his tribe. Because in Kenya we have multiple tribes, 42 tribes. Now we have 44. So they thought anybody wearing a turban and has a long uncut beard is a Kala Singha, a tribe.
So the name stuck out.
Yes. So for us it's an honor given by the Africans that we're not different from them. We're a tribe. We're so friendly, and we're adventurous, and we're hardworking, and for that reason we feel privileged that Sikhs are accepted so warmly by the Africans.
So you clearly love living in Kenya, but are you native to Kenya?
I'm not native to Kenya in the sense that I was not born in Kenya, but rather Kenya was born in me. I was born in India, but we moved to Kenya in about 40 years back. So I've studied here, grown up, and married. I have children there. So Kenya is now home. My spiritual roots remain Punjab, but Kenya is my land.
So what was your role in getting the kids to Hemkunt?
My role was to make sure the symposium was successfully hosted, to revive the zone. There's a very interesting story behind the reason behind the symposium being revived. In the past, we had a contestant called Khushwant Singh, who had been very active in the Hemkunt symposiums. He has even been to America, won medals, gold medals. But unfortunately, about 8 or 9 years ago, he passed away in an accident. So his sister, who lives in the UK, Meena, she had been encouraging and inspiring me to revive the symposium in Kenya, because she was very fond of Khushwant, of course, because she was the sister. And she felt that Kenya had lost touch with the international and global youth. And this was an excuse by remembering Khushwant's contribution in the past, that we should take Kenya back on the global stage. So they had been encouraging me to revive the zone, feeling that I'm capable of it, though I had no faith in myself, but still took up the challenge.
Well, you clearly did well.
Thank you. In fact, I would give the credit to the children who have participated here. Unfortunately, 2 of our contestants couldn't make it here for one reason or the other. We were coming as a group of about 15. But next year we will come full house. I understand the next symposium is now in Houston. So we will be fully represented in the 6 groups, the PDV, and also the Gurmat Sangeet. So this has been a learning experience both for myself and for the contestants. So next year we'll come even more prepared with even more youth to experience what the Hemkunt Symposium is about.
How did you get the youth to the international level? Like, what was the process? What steps did you have to go through?
The process was, first of all, to approach the Sikh community. The immediate point of contact was the Gurmat schools and encourage them to enlist their students to see who is interested in this symposium. So we had to look for sponsors for the local zonal competition, and then eventually, once the competition was over, we approached gurdwaras over there and other organizations to help sponsor the airfares, accommodations, and other factors related to the travel. And they came up and they didn't let us down. So my role was to ensure that the symposium was successfully held and make sure that we are able to bring the winners to the USA, help them experience the Hemkunt Symposium, and then accompany them back to Kenya.
Was this your first time like coordinating an event like this?
Totally. In fact, you would say I was thrown in the deep end. I'm somebody who likes to keep a low profile and who's never done anything of this level. So if there's any greatest beneficiary, it's me. I have had a very great learning experience on how these events are done in the service of the community and especially our youth. Which brings me to the point Nishkam TV, I must mention how proud I am to see youth, youngsters, doing the work of adults, grown-ups, professionals. And these are ideas I will take back home and show them that this is what you're capable of. Age is not a factor. The factor is your state of mind, that you're able to take the challenge and do something to the nature of Nishkam TV.
You said you do like to keep a low profile, but you do run a Facebook page called Kenyan Singha. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Kenyan Singha is a Facebook page which was born out of just pure interest and passion, because I felt our Sikhs there are oblivious to their history, the role Sikhs have played in the country, and also to educate, to help create awareness amongst non-Sikhs, especially the Africans, that how connected we are through history, and we still are connected. The reason why I called it Kenyan Singha is it is a personal identity of which I am proud of. A identity of being Kenyan and being a Singha. So which is represented by the kara and the Kenya band that I wear. So Kenyan Singha. So it's like an inseparable identity. So I'm proud of my country, I'm proud of my faith, I'm proud of my history. So I thought this is an opportunity to share the knowledge and research I have about the Sikhs in Kenya with our community and non-Sikhs, to educate them of how much involved Sikhs are in the country. Do not feel that you're different from the others. We are all the same. We are Kenyan. We may be different of different backgrounds, cultures and languages, but we are united in diversity. So that was the inspiration. So the Facebook page features lots of history, especially the person I spoke of earlier, Hemkunt Singh. There are other personalities in history that people don't know about, who have played a very prominent role and who are heroes not in just the community but amongst Africans as well.
Some examples of those heroes?
Besides Hemkunt Singh, of course, there are many other Sikhs who have played a role in the political development of Kenya, in the freedom fights. Then we have someone like Joginder Singh, who is known the world over as the Flying Sikh, because he was a daring and adventurous rally driver in the East African Safari Rally, and he was even conferred the honor of Simba ya Kenya by the first president of Kenya, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. Simba means lion. I'm sure now that Lion King is the buzzword right now, and one of the main characters' name is Simba. Simba is a Swahili word for lion. So, interestingly, besides the name Kalasinga, we are also called Simba. Like when you walk this street, when I walk this street and my African countrymen see me with a turban and a beard, they call me Simba. For them, it reminds them of a lion, because even a lion has a mane. Singh itself means lion, and that is very interesting because it seems like it has been reaffirmed in a different land by different peoples that indeed we are lions, and we've been given the name Simba. And only because, by the look of it, look at the powerful identity that the Guru has blessed us with. Not only has he given us his identity, but he's also given us his respect. That no matter where you go in the world, you will always be respected and saluted.
Feel that same respect from your community?
In what sense?
Just in general, are they? So you said you were embraced, but how large is the Sikh community in Kenya as a whole?
It's difficult to tell the numbers because over the decades, Sikhs have been migrating to different countries like the UK, US, Canada, Australia, and other parts of Europe for various reasons. But the greatest population of Sikhs happened before the independence, but over time it has dwindled. So currently we may be a small community, but we're still the largest Sikh community in Africa. Sikhs are present in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, but the majority of the Sikhs are in Kenya. We may not be a big number, I guess we're about less than 10,000, but when we're together we look like a very big number because of our unique turban style. The turban that I wear, it's called the Kenyan turban. It's the same turban that the UK Sikhs wear because they have a shared heritage. They are the Sikhs who came from Kenya, East Africa. So this is another unique identity of a Kenyan Sikh. You will never have this kind of turban worn by any other Sikhs in any part of the world. So when you see a turban like this, you will know that the Sikh has an identity from Africa. So our community may be relatively small compared to the ones in America, in the UK, Canada, Australia, but we are a very vibrant community. We are respected, we are well recognized because of our friendly nature, hardworking, successful community, and who is philanthropic. We are known, the Gurdwaras are very active in sharing the langar concept and other social causes. So the Sikhs are a very visible community in the Africans, and we have a deep found respect in them.
Okay, so thank you for speaking with us today. This was Khalsa Lakhvir-Singh. So I hope to see Kenya in future Hemkunt competitions.
Definitely, this is not the first time. This is the beginning, a new beginning. So you can expect to see Kenya in future symposiums and with even greater representation.
We will be looking forward to that.
Thank you so much for hosting.
Thank you for coming.